Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Stand in line for your fix. DeMarcus and Marcus in the mix, serving you yet another round of fish and grits. March 30th, one more day to go in the month, man, and March is going to be over. Got the NCAA tournament this weekend, NBA playoffs on the rise. It's a good time of the season right now.
It's a great time of the season. Easter coming up. That means vacation is coming up. Man, funny thing about what is that? April Fool's coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Last year, I got let go on April Fool's, so I've been crossing my fingers, hoping that no bad juju is going around, that my boss don't come in and say, "Hey, man, it's April Fool's time. We gotta let you go."
Oh, they got you on April Fool's like that?
Yeah, man, they did. They came in. They was like, "Marcus, we're shutting down your department." I said, "What?" I said, "Nah, this got to be a joke." I looked at the day. I said, "Oh yeah, y'all playing," and then they was like, "No."
Why would they pick a day like that?
I don't know. And it was a Friday. That's what made it worse. It's like, I was getting ready for the weekend. I was probably about to go out of town somewhere.
See,
now I go home all depressed.
Just ruined your whole day.
Like, hey man, I call up the girlfriend. Man, they just let me go to work. You know they playing. What you talking about? It's April Fool's. Nah, I'm not joking. Nah, they letting me go.
Dead ass B. Man, but let's get into a joking matter, if you want to say it that way. Let's get into the fresh squeeze of the day. We're going to talk about Dave Chappelle, 2 new specials, Age of Spin and Deep in the Heart of Texas, man. They was both very good. I mean, I got a lot of laughs out of it. The Kevin Hart jokes are hilarious. The Flint, Michigan versus the Oscars, the Care Bears. He went a little too far, Bill Cosby, but I still enjoyed it. And in the OJ, like the entire OJ segments, I enjoyed the hell out of those.
Hey, the OJ segment was too funny, and I was fresh. I was fresh off watching that 30 for 30 for OJ because it won an Oscar or Emmy. I think he won both of them. So I said, let me go ahead and check this out. And so I'm coming fresh off of there, so I don't want to hear nothing about OJ. Didn't do it.
Right, exactly. Everybody know he did it.
Did you see in the news they try to create a stir asking Kevin Hart how does he feel about it? I was like, yo, man, it's like the media always trying to stir
anything for a story, man.
There was nothing he said. There was nothing that he said that was to diminish anything that Kevin Hart has done. He was just saying you can make a Drake song about Kevin Hart money.
Yeah, it was a realistic thing.
It was a compliment, honestly.
Honestly, yeah, it really was. Like they really tried to turn to something that it wasn't, but I'm just glad both of them like played the issue and didn't let it spin out of control like most situations could have. So they handled it pretty well. But like I say, Dave Chappelle, he definitely was back. I hated I missed him coming to Houston last week, but those tickets went through the roof once his special dropped. Tickets was like $70. As soon as the special dropped, I think everything was like 200 plus.
Dang, so it went from 70 to 200. Man, I heard Netflix paid him how much? Like $50 million for those 3 comedy specials. I think he has one more coming.
It's worth it because, man, I accidentally seen this about 3 times. And when I say accidentally, like I walked in on 2 other people watching it after I seen it myself. So it's getting played, and it's going to continue to get played because it's funny as shit, and people been wanting some Dave Chappelle comedy. Like. It seems like everybody in that industry is watered down or it's the same jokes constantly. You don't see nobody new, but Dave Chappelle really brought something fresh to the table, something new. And I got to commend him for that. He really brought his A game with these 2 specials.
It was good to see him return because, off of his Comedy Central hiatus, it was good to see that he recouped the money that he would have made if he would have kept doing the TV show. But it was also great just to see another comedian that's not Kevin Hart. That's not to knock or diminish anything to Kevin Hart at all, because Kevin Hart is funny. He has his own lane, but Kevin Hart is what we like to call the safe comedian. And I don't mean nothing by that, but he doesn't step on anybody's toes. So, there's not a lot of distance that he has with his fans. So he doesn't have any beef between. It's like, what can you complain about Kevin Hart? You can't say he stepped on my toes because he was talking about me, because he usually just talks about his family. But Dave Chappelle, I like that he pushes the edge. He pushes the bar some.
Yeah, he takes it there.
Yeah, him, Chris Rock, and Cat Williams. I
love Chris Rock. Chris Rock, he always seemed underrated to me because I love Chris Rock comedy. I can watch some of his specials all day and just laugh my ass off. But it's a lot of people that don't like Chris Rock, and I never understood why.
I didn't like Chris Rock growing up, but when I was growing up, I thought he was annoying. But then when I started watching Everybody Hates Chris, I really started loving that show. So I said, let me go back and listen to some old Chris Rock things and see if he is better than the credit I was not giving him. And he was better. And I can even find myself watching a kid's movie. Like, I was sitting there with my son the other day watching the B movie, and Chris Rock has a little guest appearance, a little voiceover in there, and he had me cracking up. And I was like, you know what? I really was knocking Chris Rock, and he really has a lot of talent.
I've always said this, and I catch so much heat for it, and I may catch heat for it right now, but I would have easily replaced Chris Rock for Bernie Mac in the Kings of Comedy. Love Bernie Mac. Love Bernie Mac. I'm a big Bernie Mac fan. But if I had to pick the four, I put Chris Rock instead.
You picking DL Hughley over Bernie Mac?
DL Hughley pushes it too. DL Hughley pushes it too. I like his comedy.
Boot him.
I like his recent comedy, man. He's real. Like DL
recent comedy, but we talking back Kings of Comedy. DL Hughley was not funny. Let's keep it real, DeMarcus.
I didn't like the milk and cookies skit.
Oh, milk and cookies was funny, man.
I hated it, man.
Oh man, hey, y'all hear that, Fish and Grits fans? We have our first disagreement on the show,
and I knew it because I get this argument all the time. I promise you, but I'm a Chris Rock guy. Like I like weird comedians. Like some of my favorite comedians, like D. Ray Davis. I'm a big D. Ray Davis.
Oh, see, I think he's corny at times.
I love D. Ray Davis. I've seen him. I believe the last 5 years he's came to Houston. I'm not going this weekend. He's actually in town this weekend, so I'm not going. But I was a big fan of him. Another comedian named Rodman. Actually, I was a big fan of the guy that was in Get Out. Get Out. I always forget his name, but he's for real.
I don't know who that is.
The one that was in Get Out, the movie.
The main dude?
Not the main dude, but his.
I haven't seen Get Out yet. I haven't seen Get Out.
Okay. Yeah, well,
I'm still in the dark.
His friends, like I say, I like weird comedy. So I wasn't always a classic Bernie Mac guy. I really couldn't stand his specials. I wasn't a big Martin stand-up guy either. Like,
oh man, you didn't like Run Tell That or
Run Tell That, man. I always felt like Martin was a little bit too extra. Like I say, I like weird comedians. You
don't like the extra comedians. You don't like the comedians that do extra.
I like jokes. You know.
So do you like Cat Williams?
I used to. Cat Williams, he kind of lost. I was a big Mike Epps guy too.
Did you see the new Cat Williams stand up? Man, he's pretty funny. He still got it to me.
The last one I seen was one he was in California, like sweating his ass off. I haven't seen.
He did. But he did one. He did one. What did he do? One. He was wearing like a purple outfit. He came into that trophies or championship, whatever this Future and Drake song. I gotta send it to you.
I'm gonna check because it seems like comedians, they don't get a lot of pub when they drop these specials. Like you just kind of run into it. It's like by accident. Like, oh shit, I'm running through HBO channels and all of a sudden Cat Williams got a comment that say 2017. Like, damn, when did this come out? Like,
why I didn't get this notification?
Don't get nothing like that, man. But
tell me when a new Drake song come out. Tell me when the next comedy coming out.
Exactly, man. But see, that's honestly what I watch a lot of, man. Like I said, I don't watch a lot of TV. I like to laugh. I like to have fun and enjoy myself. So I go to the Improv a lot, man. I'm actually gonna be going to the Improv a lot this next coming up month. Like I say, I skipped out on D. Ray Davis to see some of the smaller comedians. It's gonna be a guy named Ryan Davis that's gonna be coming to Houston for the first time. I'm gonna check him out. He's pretty funny on Instagram, but I like fresh new comedy. I don't like hearing repeat jokes. And this is why I like D. Ray Davis, because every time I go to a show, it's new. Everything is new. He never repeats the same jokes. And that's what I respect about a comedian.
Hey man, that's what's up. Me personally, I catch a comedy when someone brings it to me, but I'm kind of the dramatic type of person. I like to watch those good dramatic shows and stuff like that. But I'm always down for a good comedy, but maybe because I have been following it enough and the market has been so saturated with Kevin Hart, I give nobody else a chance. So I just be like, I don't feel like hearing nobody.
Hey, I can definitely agree with that. Hey, you got a great point. You got a great point with that, man. But man, that was good like comedy talk. Anything else about comedy you want to throw in there right quick before you
man, that just go check out that Dave Chappelle, because I really think he's still on his A game. I think everybody been sleeping on Dave Chappelle. They kind of, it's just like when another comedian comes out, and I'm really not trying to demoralize or really trying to get on Kevin Hart, but you just really see the difference in comedy styles and how I seem like I settle for Kevin Hart.
It's another brand issue, if you ask me. I know we talk about brands a lot because people try to establish that. Like,
it's the Drake effect. It's the Drake effect.
Hey, I like that. It's the Drake effect. I love that.
It is the Drake effect. If you want to be honest, it is. LeBron has the Drake effect. Nicki Minaj has the Drake effect. Serena has the Drake effect. All these niggas have the Drake effect.
No, I completely agree with you. Like it feel like they always trying to force themselves to be a certain way and be portrayed as a certain way, and they never try to be themselves. Like I used to like Kevin Hart comedy all the time, but then I feel like we just got overpopulated with it.
Yeah,
and I still feel like he still transitions back to some of the old comedy, thinking that we're trying to stick with like when Cat Williams would start doing the Money Mike impression. Like we don't need that, man. Just give us the jokes. We don't need to know about the Friday After Next character. Like, come on, please save us.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, comedy's still out there from what you saying. So y'all hearing it first from DeMarcus. I keep you rail on the good movie and TV talk. He gets you with the comedy section.
There we go, man. Let's jump to a little bit of sports action. We're going to just quickly talk about this Final Four, man. We got 4 teams left: South Carolina, Gonzaga, Oregon, and North Carolina. Let's go with the first game, man. It's 7 seed South Carolina versus number 1 Gonzaga. You think that defense is going to be able to hold up against a high-powered team like Gonzaga?
Man, that's what I was thinking about. I remember me and you was texting about that, how Gonzaga really has a great offense, but man, South Carolina's defense has really been on clutch.
Don't it really remind you like of an SEC football team? Like that's all I see with the black jersey, like with the black jerseys.
Oh, they was coming. Hey, they was coming out. They was coming out ready to send.
Like Marcus, I couldn't get past it. I'm like, they jersey so cold. Like I want that. If we got to go with best jerseys left in the tournament, it's like out of South Carolina and Oregon. If you like all the
Oregon
colors,
is too flashy, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They too, but that fierce black, like, oh yeah, I'm feeling that South Carolina, man.
I'm gonna be honest with you. In a perfect world, I would love for South Carolina to play UNC. I want to see them play UNC. I want to see that matchup. I want to see an underdog team really. Like this is one of the most underdog teams to make the Final Four, and a team when you listen to the players who's been there 3 or 4 years, it was empty stadiums, and like to go from a game to where you can only play in front of maybe 100 to 250 people to selling out an arena in the Final Four, like you made it. And what's
like, it's what it's all about.
And what's crazy to me is I was hearing something about South Carolina hasn't made the Final Four in what 60 years, and Gonzaga, this is their first time making it this far.
Yeah, they had a lot of good teams. They just couldn't get over the hump.
Man, I honestly, I'm looking forward to this. You know, I know me and you really dislike college football, and we really dislike. It's like the mechanics of college football that I really don't like. But I really have to say that I've really been enjoying the NCAA tournament this year.
Yeah, I definitely did enjoy the NCAA tournament a lot, man. But I'm hoping that the upset can happen, but like you said, I don't see it. This Gonzaga team is a veteran team. They got a lot of 3 to 4 year players. They're very deep, and maybe the Cinderella story could be coming to an end. But it's been a nice run for South Carolina. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get Gonzaga to go into the finals.
Yeah, you got to give it to them. But man, this is what it's gonna come down to. If South Carolina comes out and puts a defensive hold on Gonzaga, if they can limit them to, I want to say if they can limit them to under 30 points in the first half, and South Carolina really has the offensive side of the ball going, I think they can win this game.
Yeah, I can see something like that. But like I said, they're gonna have to have them clamps on the entire time. 40 minutes of clamps. If you let them get on a nice little run, it's gonna be hard to come back.
Now let's get to this other game, man. Didn't know President Obama pick UNC to go all the way to the Final Four?
He did. I
think he picks them. I think he really secretly wants to pick them every year.
It seems like it, don't man. Hey, he be having a good little run with UNC.
I'm so mad that that's another knock on Trump, because he ended the president's picking of the NCAA tournament because he didn't do it this year.
That, and he won't be doing the first pitch in baseball, which is not that important, but that's
really isn't. I can miss that.
131-year tradition that he's breaking. So,
man, I wouldn't be surprised if no NFL or NBA team showed up to shake his hand, but that's another topic for another day. But back to this Oregon, I would like to see Oregon go. I would really like to see Oregon with the upset. Me and you were all about these upsets, and I really want to see what Oregon has, because their offensive side of the ball, they shoot a lot of threes for a college team.
They do, but that's just how they built in the Pac-12. You see a lot more finesse basketball when you talk about West Coast basketball, because they always trying to get out on the break. I feel like East Coast teams play a little bit more defense than West Coast teams, but that's also a different style of basketball players when you think about the entire situation. But I honestly feel North Carolina, heartbreaking defeat last year to Villanova. one of the best college basketball games I ever seen against Kentucky, you better get to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
You better. You better not waste this opportunity that was almost handed to you single-handedly. Like 9 times out of 10, a situation like that won't happen to where a power forward is just wide ass hoping for a game-winning shot to get to the Final Four. Those situations don't happen a lot. And if you don't take advantage of this after what happened last year, that's kind of sad, man. Because y'all pretty much been given the golden ticket to here, make up for last year.
Yeah, and you know,
and it's not like it's a lot of tough competition. I mean, yes, Gonzaga is a tough team, but you just said this is their first time in the Final Four. They haven't been at this stage. You were just here last year.
Yeah, because the thing about Gonzaga is, you have to, if they're still on, they're going to be on nerves because once that crowd, if they get down and that crowd gets behind the opposing team, that's when they're going to start. You're going to see them unraveling, and that's what South Carolina's going to have to do for them. But once again, I think. You said that Gonzaga's going to win. I think South Carolina's going to win. I'm hoping that. But then I want to see UNC. I think they're going to make it.
Hey, I'm down for the all North Carolina. I think any combination is good other than Oregon. I'm not a big fan of Oregon. I think we can be done with them. But a matchup of 1 seeds or the battle for Carolinas. I love either one of those.
Give me that battle of Carolina because I'm hoping in my mind J. Cole makes a halftime performance. You know, he just says, let me put on for my city.
A brother can wish. Watch it be like U2 or some
it's some bullshit that nobody want to see. Coldplay comes out there like what? I don't want to see that. It's just like I don't understand why the NBA does that. It's like the majority of your fans are black people. Why do you always invite these pop groups and white people that we don't want to see?
Let's think about this also. The fans.
Yeah, that's true. The people that's paying, yeah.
Who's attending those games, Marcus?
The white people be really jamming that rap music. So if Migos came out there, man, I'm telling you, you'd be surprised how many though. They were saying there was a research done. And I know this is all topic, but there was a research done that they said that 63% of not soccer moms, but just say white moms listen to rap music. That's the majority thing they listen to on the radio is rap music.
Well, yeah, if it's the radio, you kind of force fit it. Like they even a white radio station gonna slide a couple black songs up in there. You're gonna hear some egos.
I'm telling you. This is the thing about white. I mean, not white people, but in general. Let them be at a basketball game, and then the beats start coming in. You start rapping, then the music start getting turned up a little bit louder. You're gonna start moving around. You're gonna enjoy yourself as much as they can deny it. Because as much as I want a lyrical driven person, I like to see my artists deliver. I like a little Migos, a little Future here and now and then. So I know white people enjoy it.
Marcus, I was leaving the mall yesterday. People be having their windows down, listen to their music, whatever.
What happened?
I heard that Future mask off. I'm like, okay.
Hey, that mask off, man.
I pull up, blue SUV, white woman.
See, I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Hey, and for the Fish and Grits listeners out there, go ahead and check out that Joey Badass freestyle, the Mask Off, man. He's dropping that album tomorrow, so that's a little plug.
There you go.
You can pay me later, Joey.
And also check out that new Kendrick Lamar. We just jammed it before we got on the air.
Hey, that Kendrick, man. 2 weeks from now, we're gonna review that album album.
I can't wait, man. It's been some good music these last 3 months. I feel so blessed for hip hop right now. I feel like this is probably the best 3-month stretch for rap music that we've had in a long time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I definitely feel that way. Let's all right. Let me get you a quick pick. So who you got winning the whole thing? Final Four. Who you got winning the whole thing?
UNC. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna play it up to fate that Obama finally picks a championship right the day he's out of office. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it to them. It just happened to take him to get out of office to finally get his pick right.
No doubt. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with that pick, too. I like UNC to get all the way there. Man, we're going to jump into some quick NBA talk real quick, man. Devin Booker put up 70 points.
Impressive.
21 for 40 overall. Only hit 4 3-pointers. I think that's the most impressive part. He did get to the free throw line 26 times and knocked down 24. Is this an overrated feat? How do you honestly feel about this? I mean, he's joined the elite class. Let's not get this mistaken.
Yeah, one of 6 people.
Will Chamberlain, David Robinson, David Thompson, Elgin Baylor, and Kobe Bryant. Those are the only other people to score over 70 points. Even Michael Jordan only hit 69, and that was in a loss. Even though this was a loss also. But what did it seem too easy? How did you feel the defense was? Do you feel like he earned the 70 points? Do you feel it was given to him? What's your overall take on this 70-point explosion?
He earned it. Let's be honest, because this is Brad Stevens' Boston team. You know, they're still fighting for a number 1 seed, so they didn't just lay down and just give it to the Suns. If you watch that game, Devin Booker seemed like he couldn't miss anything because everybody wants to talk about, oh, yeah, he got 71 points. It's not important, blah, blah, blah. It is important for one thing. This dude barely shot any threes, and the threes that he shot was in the end of the game.
Yeah, it was late, yeah.
And he was getting fouled on them threes, so they were 4-point plays. So it was really impressive. And people want to belittle the whole Suns, you know, taking a picture in the locker room, celebrating the 71 points, or, you know, they're kind of smiling in defeat. But guess what? The Suns have been a lottery ticket for the past 2 months? We already knew the Suns weren't going anywhere. So let them celebrate something exciting to their season.
This the best moment they had.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, let them cheer on a teammate that's doing something that never been done. Harden's not doing that. Westbrook probably can do that, but Westbrook's not doing this. LeBron James, none of these people are scoring 71. He's one of 6 players in NBA history to score that many points. You have to commend that. You have to clap your hands at that. You have to give that some credit because he did a great job, and I really commend his performance. He has a bright future ahead of him. If they move Eric Gordon out the way and they trade him and not Eric Gordon. I can't believe I said Eric Gordon. Eric Bledsoe out the way, and they grab somebody else and they get some nice pieces around him. I think the Suns have a bright future. But I really was clapping for him because he was really going off.
No, he was doing his thing. I think the most impressive thing. He's a young guy, 20 years old. Okay, turned 21 in October, but he came into the league as a sniper. That's what everybody looked at. Oh, he's going to be a great 3-point shooter. But he showed a lot of touch in the 2-point area. He finished a lot of his layups. He got a nice little mid-range. He's actually becoming a great overall player. Players to score 70 points. Like, that's a great start for a young kid, especially in a system like this. So, yeah, like you said, they just got to they got to put the right team around them. Because they got as close to Klay Thompson as you can get, if you ask me. It's like a light version. I don't know if he's going to be playing that same type of defense as Klay. That's why I said have the best chance to get 81 points, Klay, because he can get the hottest. But if he can do the same thing, that's a very important piece. I try to reach out to the Suns to get a trade, especially if I'm Boston.
For Devin Booker?
Of course. I trade up a couple picks and throw in Jaylen Brown or something to get Devin Booker and Isaiah Thomas. I think that'd be a perfect fit.
That would be a nice fit, but I wish Devin Booker go to like somewhere. I want to say the Clippers. I would like that for him to go to the Clippers. I would like to see him with the Mavericks.
I think the Clippers are about to explode, Mark.
What about the Mavericks? You think that would be a good pickup for the Mavericks?
I think it would be a great pick. Like coming off the bench for the young kid. Wesley Matthews already at the tail end of his career. I believe he's in his 30s now, so he don't got too many big contracts coming up. So either he'd have to take that sacrifice and go onto the bench, or he'd have to get out of town. But I think that'll be a great pickup for him to put him with Noel and Barnes and get you a young point guard. You can make some Dallas. I honestly feel they're gonna be a quick rebuild because Mark Cuban already got the mouthpiece to get some type of superstar down there. It may not be a big name, but he put together a decent team in the offseason for what he had. He didn't have a lot to work with.
Yeah, that's true. And you have to give him some credit for them. They remind me of the Miami team, you know, had a bad start.
They never fully tank. You never see Dallas fully tank.
They always fighting. You know, I know that they ended their run of like so many consecutive seasons of 50 wins or something like that last year. But Dirk is a fighter, man.
Yeah. Dirk is a fighter, and they're not as aggressive in free agency. Also, it kind of felt like they've been in rebuild mode, but honestly, they just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah, they are. That DeAndre Jordan trade, that one that didn't happen, that really fucked them over. I'm gonna be honest with you.
No, it did because they were so set in stone with that team, and they probably would have been able to get some other pieces in, some smaller pieces, just by having his name value there to know that you got, all right, I have a paint protector here, so I know.
And your boy Parsons, man, he fucked them over too. They overpaid him, and he was trash for them.
Nah, I mean that's one of those. That's what you get, Mark Cuban type of deals when you.
That is. He did.
They wanted to be paid. I mean, look how everything happened. He didn't have to do. How many pictures have we seen in like offices and executive table? They in the club flashing lights at like 3 a.m. signing the fucking contract.
Yeah,
they serious.
Yeah,
that was too much. He got what he deserved because he wanted to gloat about it. They put it on. I forgot what site it was, but they put it on social media because it was whatever site he was running that he had it on, the one that got shut down. But they put it all over the internet just to embarrass the Rockets and say that we got one of your premier players, which they did. But, hey, we got a reason. We kept it moving.
Well, who got the last laugh at the end of the day? The Rockets.
Definitely.
3 seed pimping. 3 seed.
But yeah, man, I like everything about Devin Booker's game. Like I said, I hope they're able to build something special in Phoenix, but that's not the best market for him to be. They're gonna have to trade him and get him out of there. They keep a lot of good talent, but I feel like everybody does better once they leave Phoenix for some odd reason.
Yeah, that's true, and I think it's a lot of teams that really could use his service going forward. So I would love to see what the Suns going to do, and with that situation, I also want to see what the Suns are going to do with Tyson Chandler, because Tyson Chandler, I still think Tyson Chandler has
went for the money, man.
He went for the money, but man, he still got talent, man. I feel like somebody can grab him.
But he want to play for whoever gonna give him the max money. You can't blame him for that. I mean, goddamn, they're gonna pay a 35-year-old Tyson Chandler $40 million. Who am I to say you shouldn't go there?
Hey, that's what I was saying, man. This nigga was drafted in 2000. Like, come on, y'all. I mean, 2001. Like, come on, y'all. Like, why is he getting paid that type of money? But it is what it is.
He was a small forward back then. I don't understand anything about Tyson Chandler's career, but I know he got a ring, and it was a decent stretch of his career where he was very dominant, at least on the defensive end in the pick and roll game. So I like Tyson Chandler as a player, but he definitely should have went for the money. He should be on like the Spurs or a good competitive team. He need to be trying to get more rings because he's a key role player. You can use a Tyson Chandler. Like, he could be like that Alonzo Mourning for when the Heat had him behind Shaq.
And you know what made me laugh about that Devin Booker performance? That the little subliminal shot that what's his name? Isaiah Thomas took at Devin Booker, talking about, yeah, you're going to be a lottery pick, and we're heading to the playoffs. But Isaiah Thomas, literally 2 years ago, you were in that same situation with the Suns. Thing. So don't belittle this dude. Yeah. He can literally take your spot. Like, you watch, like, you see how quick the Celtics are talking about picking up another point guard. So even though you scoring 30-point games, you still on thin ice.
Oh, what? Man, if they get a great pick, we could easily see one of these premier point guards from college on the Celtics. And Isaiah Thomas will be moving to 2 guard in no time. And as crazy as it may sound, he has to move to 2 guard if they get another point guard, because he's a score first guard.
Yeah, he's not blocking any shots, getting any steals like that. So yeah, 2 guard would be a better fit for him. Same with Kyrie. At the end of the day, I feel like Kyrie is a better defender than a passer, I think Kyrie is a better scorer than defender or passer. So I feel like he's better fit for the 2 guard position.
Oh, that's true, because so many of these point guards are really small shooting guards at heart. I mean, honestly, it's probably only 4 or 5 true point guards in the league, and you probably have to throw John Wall in there, Mike Conley. I can't even really name a lot of them, because most of the true point guards starting to slow down, especially Tony Parker. Tony Parker's starting to slow it down so much, it's not even funny.
Yeah, but he was a shell of himself the other night. I really see it. I really see it. It's crazy to see the end for a lot of these great players.
And you see it for Tony, because even the gimme, like, automatic shots,
he doesn't take them. He doesn't.
They're not going. He lost all his confidence.
And he doesn't take those pick and roll shots that he used to. I don't know what's going on. Ginobili's still out there, old as I don't know what, and he's still putting out work, but I don't understand what's going on with Tony Parker.
Let's just turn this into a Spurs talk. The Spurs, they are having a great season, one of the better seasons in the NBA. But what do you see the biggest issue for the Spurs will be going down the road? You kind of seen a little bit of it yesterday, like we just brought up with Tony Parker. Then you got Kawhi Leonard going 0 for 5 from the 3-point land. He seemed like he couldn't buy a bucket yesterday. Draymond Green did put the clamps on him. He started to make a case for Defensive Player of the Year, but that's another conversation.
Rudy, got to give my boy Rudy.
I love Rudy, but Draymond Green, he showed something. He's been guarding James Harden and Kawhi Leonard.
See,
he's been putting in a lot of dirty work without Durant.
He's done that of late. See, that's what I always tell people. He's done that of late, but Draymond was not doing any of this in the beginning of the season. Rudy Gobert has literally
honestly, man, because I was defending him early in December because they wasn't giving him the ball enough. But his defense never went anywhere.
But weren't we questioning Green on his effort in January when we first started the show? We was questioning his effort.
I questioned Green on his antics. His effort is.
Yeah.
Never question his effort because he's one of those East Coast ballers that I talk. No, y'all fool.
You there?